Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again with Reggie.
What's up, bro?
What's up? That's dirty.
Let's try it again.
Let's try it again.
Oh! All right, man.
All right, I felt that one.
So we are back to show you guys some more exciting pickups. Man, got some good stuff for you guys.
Yeah, I know. The hits keep coming, man. It's gonna be great. Let's take a look. All right, dude, I went first last time, so your turn.
All right, got something pretty unique here for you guys. This is Silent Hill, the novel for the Game Boy Advance, English translated, yes.
This is crazy, what?
Yeah, it's really cool. I got this from a company called Retro Gamers Us, and they have a really cool Instagram where they show up a lot of their stuff on there. And
so this was a Japanese game or something?
It was only released
visual novel
it was only released in Japan.
Really?
And, I'm finally happy today has got here where some modders have English translated it for us.
Wow.
So I'm very pumped up about this. Yeah, it's a very creepy novel too. So it definitely has that Silent Hill feel to it, I would say. But
wow, okay.
A lot of games are getting English translated, which is awesome, and people are making it into a physical. So
it's true, and yeah. Although I didn't realize that there was even visual novels on the Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Okay, you're coming out strong, buddy.
I know, right? Silent Hill.
Never heard that. All right. Well, next up for me is. So I have a PlayStation VR2, and every once in a while people are like, hey, do you actually use the thing? And the answer is sometimes. However, I did pick up a physical copy of Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, the Enhanced Edition. So essentially this came out on Oculus, it came out on PlayStation VR1, and they did an enhanced version that takes advantage of the higher processing power of the PlayStation VR2.
Okay.
This is a fantastic VR experience. If you've never played it, I'm showing you guys the footage here. It's an all new Star Wars experience where you play. Basically, you're kind of like you're running. I forget. I don't remember if you're like a scoundrel or something like that. But basically, in the beginning, you're on a ship. And you have a cargo hold, and you have a mysterious package that you're taking.
Okay, you don't know what it is, gotcha.
You crash land on a planet. Long story short, you go around and you are shooting a bunch of people. It's a first-person shooter, essentially, with a little bit of kind of like a adventure puzzle.
Now, how's the first-person shooting part? Is it pretty?
It's excellent.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, it's so much fun. No, it's so much fun. And to give you an idea, Paul also owns this game, and he has played this, I think, 4 or 5 times.
Really?
He loves this game.
Paul's putting in work.
Yeah. So if you're a Star Wars fan, if you have the PlayStation VR 1 or 2, highly recommended. Definitely check it out. And again, they have it on physical. Who knew, right? So I was excited to see that.
Definitely. Very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, next one here is another one from Project Retro Games. I talked about that on our last video. You guys are going to love this. This is NBA Jam 2K22.
Really?
Luka Doncic on the cover. I'm like, man, this is so cool because they put all the stars from every NBA Jam game. They even put Jordan in there, LeBron, Kobe's in there. And it's just like a dream NBA Jam game. And not only that, they got Tim Kitzero's voice in there, and they mixed it up to where it sounds legit like he's talking about the new characters. It's so well done and balanced. And I love that cover, man, because having Luka on the cover is awesome. He's a rising star.
The company that's making these, I mean, they're putting the work in. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, and you can see the disc is pressed and everything.
Yeah.
So you put that on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder you're picking these up.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, it's like I'm reliving the PS1 era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very cool. But yeah, NBA Jam is a fun basketball game, as you guys know. We need a new one. You know, it's been a while since we got one. It's been like over 10 years since we got an NBA Jam game, a good one.
Yeah, wow, dude.
But yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Right on.
All right. You know, I recently, and you replayed the new Resident Evil 4 remake, you know, loved it.
Yes.
It was excellent. And I was like, you know what? Here's a Resident Evil game I don't have. I still have this on the 3DS. So it's Resident Evil Revelations. I originally played it on the 3DS. Really cool. Didn't have it on the Wii U. Picked it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's so rare that I pick up a Wii U game at this point.
Yeah.
You know? But I was playing it the other night, capturing the footage, and I like this game a lot. It's kind of a side game. It basically takes place after Resident Evil 4. What I like about it is that it jumps around. You've probably played this, I'm sure.
Yes. It jumps around between characters and certain time points
and locations.
And it all intertwines towards the end, which is really well done how they do it. It keeps you on edge. It keeps you pumped up. It's a really fun game. The only thing I was sad about this one is not 2 players. If it had a 2-player mode, it would have been cool too. But still, obviously, a Resident Evil game, if you're playing single player, is more eerie and everything, but you do have a partner that kind of helps you and assist you.
And what's cool about the Wii U, and a lot of games did this, and replaying it the other night, I was like, oh man, it takes advantage of the gamepad so well, because essentially you have a real-time map all the time, and your inventory, your reloading, your weapons, your health, is all right there. You don't have to go into menus. It's so cool.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you picked this up, man.
Yeah,
Good choice, man. I personally like Revelations 2 better. I know I'm in the minority with that, but still.
I've only really played that on the Vita, I believe.
Didn't you and Rebecca play it together on Switch, maybe? Yeah.
That's right. We did. That's right. I completely forgot about that. That was one of the few times I actually got Rebecca to sit down and play a Resident Evil game because she hates survival horror and anything truly scary, but she was into it. Yeah, that's right.
Right on. Okay, next item for me. It's a little mix up here. I had this game a long time ago, and I got rid of it, and ever since I got rid of it, I wanted it back, and I finally found it while I was in Texas at Crystalis for the Game Boy Color. Now, I know people prefer the NES version over this, but I prefer this version because back in the day, when I was really into the Game Boy Color, I played that game, and I was just a short RPG, action RPG was really awesome to me. So yeah, I just have a lot of memories with that one, but got a good deal on it, thankfully. But yeah, never selling it again. So if you like top-down games like Zelda and stuff like that, you'll have a general interest in this, I think. So
don't you hate it when you sell a game and you're I'll never really want that, and then all of a sudden you're like, damn, I should have kept that.
Yeah, it was weird, and I'm usually good about that, but for some reason I just wasn't. I just wanted to get rid of it and just regretted it immediately.
That's funny. All right, next up is a game. Strictly Limited put out. They must have got the license for Jim Power, The Lost Dimension, PlayStation 4. And I also have the Super Nintendo. Well, this is actually the Super Nintendo.
Oh, it's actually Super. Oh, we used the Super Nintendo version as well. Wow.
Yeah. So this is pretty interesting. You obviously know about this game. You're laughing because this is considered one of the most difficult games ever made.
One hit and you're out,
dude. It's brutal.
But it looks good though. The game looks awesome.
It does. And so what's interesting about this release is that the PlayStation 4 version right there has the Genesis version on it. So it actually has the parallax scrolling in the background.
Okay.
And Pico Interactive made an NES version. So that has both.
Really?
Yes. It's crazy, dude.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. They decided to go all out on this, but yeah, it was pretty cool that they did this. So, again, picking one of the hardest games ever. So you have to really like punishment, but I was capturing the footage here, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing.
Maybe they could have tweaked it a little bit. Maybe you get 2 hits, then you die. I figured that's a little bit fairer. 1 hit kills is
It's old school, man. But there's people out there who they love that challenge. This is they're going to sit down, and to be fair, I was kind of getting into it because you just kind of learn as you go.
Right.
So I don't know, but anyways, yeah, cool pickup.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. So next game here, we got a shooter. This is the RayStorm HD Collection.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes with RayStorm and Ray Crisis. The first game, which I forgot, I think it's called Ray Force, is not on here, which was weird. But the Japanese version, I found out, has all 3 games on there, so they kind of
interesting. Okay.
And then I found out at the last minute, unfortunately, but still, I'm happy with this collection because I like these games. Yeah. I played them again. I was not very good at them because they have a targeting system that it uses, so you have to target enemies before you kind of take them out. It's very.
Is that the one where you hold down the target and kind of paints, and then you let go and it fires?
Very similar. Yeah, very similar to that. So it's they're cool games. It just take a bit of getting used to. They're not. You can't just shoot everything on the screen. You have to target. But I'm happy to have those. Happy they re-released them, so a lot of people will get a chance to play them. Just wish the first game was on there.
Yeah, that's weird. So, but you're saying the Japanese release of that might have it?
The Japanese release has all 3 games on there.
Oh.
Yeah, and the game has the regular version and the kind of updated HD version too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 versions of each game. So cool.
Interesting. Okay. Next up for me, something completely different. That is Lego 2K Drive. Have you heard of this?
Never.
So basically, it's kind of it's not really open world, but it has open areas. So it's a Lego racing game.
Okay.
But there's different lands and they're fairly large levels, and it's kind of open world where you drive around, pick up quests, you do all these sort of. It's very arcadey. It's extremely arcadey, and it's actually a really well-made arcade racing game. Like, I put a lot of time in this game so far, and I'm really enjoying it. It's got a great sense of humor. It's got that sort of Lego humor to it. And it also allows you to make your own car creations. So there's an entire Lego creation tool in here that you can just go wild and create whatever you want. So, or you can use pre-made stuff, which is kind of what I was doing. But
very cool, and online, of course, which is good. So yeah, you can play with people online.
Yeah. So I don't hear people talking about this a lot. And again, this version right here is pretty funny because the reason why the box is so big because it comes with a Lego car in there. That
does it?
Yeah, it comes with Legos in there.
Nice.
So, anyways, an arcade racing game. We don't get a lot of these, and this is actually a pretty good one. So definitely check it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one here. Where did it go? This is the last game I got right before I came over here.
Oh, really?
River City Girls Part 2.
Huh. Okay.
So this is a beat 'em up, a spin-off of River City Ransom.
Way Forward.
Yeah, and Way Forward. I think Way Forward worked on it. Or
yeah, they're developers or something.
And this one is actually really cool because over the first one, you can actually play this one online. Now, I was antsy to play the game as soon as I got it, so I popped it in and asked me if I wanted to download the patch. I said no. And I went and played the game, and it didn't have the online multiplayer in there, so I guess they patched that in. So later on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes patches are specifically for everyone needs to be at the patched version, so it's all fair, right? Huh.
Yeah, but it was really cool, and the footage you're seeing here, luckily someone joined me online, and we were playing the game together, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, when you play video games, I feel like a lot of companies need to push for like online capability because you get the best out of those games when you're playing with someone else.
Yeah,
playing solo is cool, but it could get kind of like boring after a while.
Yeah.
But having someone join your game and just go through the game together is freaking awesome. So I'm gonna have a good time with that one. That's probably gonna be the next game I beat after the next game I talk about. So
okay,
but yeah.
All right, well, that's cool. Next up for me is a Play Asia release here. East Asia Soft published this. This is a shooter called Project Starship X.
Yes,
dude, this is a great game. This is a really great game. So it's a roguelike randomized shooter, and it has this dodge or dash mechanic that with one hit of a button you kind of dash across the screen and can do damage. And even more than that, it also has kind of like, I forget what they call it, like a leap mode. So you turn into a frog or whatever, like a mechanical frog, and then it goes on the ground and you jump.
Really?
It's crazy. And also it's completely wacky. Like, it's like a really silly game.
Wow, I feel like I played this one before, but I'm not sure if it's the same game.
Yes, so there was a version of this game, I forget what it came out, maybe digitally or something like that. So there was a Project Starship before, and this is the X version. So this is like, has all the extra stuff.
I think I played the other version of it, and I got tore up on that game. Man.
Dude, I was actually doing really well.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was playing it for a long time. Okay. So I don't know if maybe they've tweaked
the screen's a bit wide too, right?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, you guys are looking at the footage right now. I captured this a while ago.
Okay. Cool. I love the cover of it because the cover looks really cool.
I was digging this game a lot because it does something different. That dash mechanic was like, I was into it. Like, it was really cool. Like, you're able to, because, and again, it's randomized, so there's like hazards that will instantly kill you, so you're kind of dashing through them to survive and stuff. I dig it, so I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Right on, dude. All right, cool. Okay, the next game I was talking about that I haven't beaten yet, I'm at the end, Dead Island Part 2.
Okay.
So this game this game's been in limbo for like the last 11 years, I believe. Like, it was supposed to come out a little bit after the second Dead Island, which was a spin-off, Dead Island Reptile, you guys remember. But anyways, game is finally here, and I was drawn in immediately. I loved everything about it. What's really going to pull people into the characters, the way they introduce the characters in this game is freaking awesome, man. The characters are so likable that you get to pick between. It was great. But obviously, I picked the girl who runs really fast because I feel like you're in a bad situation.
Yeah,
she get out of there real
totally,
fast.
right.
But the problem with her is that her health is low.
Oh,
so if you get attacked, you're pretty much almost dead. But I was having so much fun with that game, man. It's just,
I've never played them. I should at some point.
They are very interesting, man. So, but that one I feel like it's better than the other two that we got. So, yeah, that's the best one. So,
okay, all right. I always see them all the time when you go into like GameStops and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why I haven't picked them up, but yeah. So
yeah, I remember back in the day, everybody kind of compared. They thought it was gonna be like Left 4 Dead.
Yes,
but it was actually just a lot more than Left 4 Dead was. But yeah, cool games.
All right, next up for me is a limited run game I ordered a long time ago. But I finally got.
I knew it. I knew that's the one.
Yeah,
you're gonna have that one.
So Blade Runner Enhanced Edition, I ordered this immediately because one of the first videos I ever uploaded to YouTube was a review for the PC version of this game. Yeah, like I don't know if it was my first, but it was definitely a long time ago. Have you played Blade Runner the game?
I never played it.
So, I mean, basically at the time when it came out, it was like, we weren't going to get another Blade Runner at the time, like late 90s, 2000, whenever this came out. And so this was the next best thing. And the developer, Westwood Studios, really understood what made the movie so good and crafted a game that actually was very much a love letter to the original movie. It had the same kind of like look and feel to it. And it was really cool because it is randomized. So you can't really follow a walkthrough because the prostitute on the sidewalk may be the sergeant in your game.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so it's really interesting how it kind of breaks it up and keeps it fresh. This release is a little bit controversial. I didn't really follow it too closely other than when it came out, I guess it was kind of buggy. And also, people were a little bit disappointed in the visuals because some of it, as you guys see in the footage, is really upscale. It looks really nice. But then the models themselves of the characters are pretty low quality because I think it's because, I'm guessing, but I think it's because that's what they had to work with.
Right.
So, some people were not exactly happy with it. I've been playing it. I think it's fine. But I'm also a big fan of the original. So,
Gotcha.
And I had to pick it up.
Definitely. You play it on a more modern console.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Next up here is going to be a weird one. But this is Phantom Breaker Omnia. And
it's got to be a fighting game.
It's a fighting game, yeah. I originally had the PS3 version a long time ago. Matter of fact, it was like one of the first unboxings I did on my channel.
Okay.
But Limited Run put out a more modern version.
They don't do a lot of fighting games.
Not that I've seen, yeah. That was pretty rare, at least from what I've seen. But yeah, I picked it up. I'm not very good at it yet because the fighting's kind of like all over the place, and I'm still trying to figure out the mechanics. But I was having fun with it. And I'm just happy to finally get that on the PS4. So
wow,
if you like fighting games, you might like this one. I'm not really sure, but it's got a lot of cool animations and cool, crazy moves that I think a lot of people will like. So
okay, yeah, that's cool. All right, next up for me, I'll do this one right here. So Castle of Shikigami 2.
That infamous game. We talked about it in our PS2 Hidden Gems video.
yeah, dude, I love this game. It's just, it's a bullet hell style shooter, classic. We got it originally back on the PlayStation 2 or maybe in PlayStation 1, it was like Mobile Light Force, right?
No, so that Mobile Light Force on PS1 was actually Gunbird.
That's right.
Castle,
But wasn't Mobile Light Force 2
Castle Shikigami Part 1?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird how they did it.
I'm glad you're here to explain it.
It's so weird how they did that, man. The Mobile Light Forces are kind of funny to look at now, but back then, we didn't understand why they changed it to that. They should have just kept the regular game and it would have sold well, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, totally.
But, Castle Shikigami Part 2 is, man... It's a great game, but it's known in America for the bad voice acting on the PS2 version, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
But wow, man.
Yeah, but for me, it's weird because the Switch is turning out to be kind of my shooter system. Like I've got a ton of shooters, both imports and regular releases here in North America. So it's amazing how many they put out.
Yeah, the shooters are great for the system because obviously you can play the Switch on the go or on your television. So
you can tilt the screen, so a lot of these
tape mode.
Yeah, a lot of them support that, which is I've done that many times actually.
Right on.
So yeah. So anyways, just want to share this with you.
Cool.
Yep. We want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, which has sponsored a lot of my videos. That is CLZ Games App, which I have been using for years. You're familiar with it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so basically they are a cataloging app that I've been using, and essentially what you can do is scan a barcode of a game that you are interested in. It brings up a price, both like loose, complete,
it gives you all the information. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's got a bunch of options in there, like you can sort by the different genres within your like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So like on Switch, you can search it or sort it by like first-person shooters or platforming games and stuff like that.
Survival horror.
Yeah, and what's cool is that they also support like a lot of different systems, like PC imports, stuff like that. Like it's very rare that I find a game that it doesn't know about.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, we want to give them a shout out. They are sponsoring this video, and they're a great sponsor, and I've been using their app for a long time, so definitely check out the Apple and the Google stores and look for CLZ Games App.
Man, lots of shooters here, but let me see here. I want to do a little something different here. It's another fighting game, Street Fighter 6.
Okay, is this the most current one?
This is the most current one, yes.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, I've been playing Street Fighter for years and everything like that, and 5 really threw me off. Like 5 is like it's okay now, but when it first came out, left a bad taste in my mouth.
Was that the one where you had to kind of like it was all on the disc, but you had to unlock it or something? Or what was the deal?
Yeah, it was weird, and it didn't have online when it first came out, and it was like nothing paid, but it was just really a bad launch for it. This one had a great launch. I'm really enjoying it. I'm playing it more on a casual level though. I'm not trying to get tournament good with the game. I'm just having a good time with it because I don't really have the time to get really skillful.
To get good?
Yeah, I'm good at the older ones, but the newer ones, you know, it's gonna. Yeah, I don't want to do it, but I'm having fun with it. I think it's a great game. If you guys want to check it out, happy Street Fighter 6 is back. So yeah,
okay, well, that's cool. You and your fighting games.
Yep.
So, all right. So here's something completely different from that. Super Rare put out Lost in Play. Dude, this is one of those games where I put it in and I spent several hours playing this.
Really?
Game. It's really good. So basically, what this is, it's an adventure game. You play as a brother and sister, and it's really weird because essentially they go in and out of their reality. You know how kids kind of play and they're sort of in their own sort of fantasy world? So this is exactly that. So they're being chased by something in the forest and you realize, oh, it's just a guy. Or, you know what I mean? And it goes back and forth between reality all the time. The puzzles in this game are fantastic. Here's the thing. I will get really frustrated with puzzles. I don't know if it's because I'm stupid or what, but which is a big possibility. However... You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to have to play an adventure game where I have to go online and try to figure out what they want me to do.
Well, the puzzles slow the pace. They don't want you to beat the game too fast. And I'm the same way. Like when a puzzle comes, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this puzzle. I want to keep going. So
or I'm like, what do they want me to do? What's this? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if I just don't have the patience for it. This game, I didn't feel that in.
Really?
Yeah, because every time that I got to a puzzle, and there's lots of them, I felt like, oh, I can kind of figure this out. And I did. And that's why I was playing it so much, because I was like, I guess that made me feel smart.
Right on, man. Okay.
But really clever game, great characters. I love the world, really fantastic art, and a lot of fun. So I was really impressed with it.
Super Rare, another awesome one.
I know.
Physical.
Again, yeah, really
awesome. Cool. Okay, next up here is another fighting game, but it's beat 'em up. Double Dragon Gaiden. So I just got this game, and it's like a rogue beat 'em up. You know, you get a lot of upgrades that you have to buy and everything. I like the game. I'm still trying to figure things out how I really feel about it. I'm liking it so far, but I haven't, still feeling it out, I would say. So before I give a decisive decision on it, but it's still cool that Double Dragon is back. I mean, that's one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time. As you guys know, Double Dragon 2.
When you say rogue, do you mean it's not randomized? It's just that there's an RPG element.
Well, yeah, more of an RPG element. I should have said that because buying new moves and stuff like that, and you just buy a lot of stuff to kind of help you go through the game.
Interesting.
I would say. So definitely a unique one. It's more of a side story, but it's definitely the developers knew what to put into the game for old school Double Dragon people to like it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up, actually, I have a gift for you. So,
all right,
premium edition games. They're awesome. I've mentioned them before. We've met them at retro gaming expos. I've talked about these two games and they're super fun, and so they sent these as a gift for me to give to you. Right. So have you played Rain on your parade?
We talked about it in one of your videos how you play as the Cloud and you just rain on people's parade.
Like, I know, and so they wanted you to have this, and I was really happy because this game is fantastic. So yeah, it's exactly that. It's basically this kind of like, you play a Cloud and you're raining on people's parade. It sounds dumb. It's really fun. And then the other one that they sent also is Wunderling DX, which is kind of like a auto-running platforming game. It's similar to the Rayman Legends games. You know how those are?
Okay, exactly. Yep.
Very similar to that. Super fun games. I know you're going to love those. So,
thanks, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. Next game here from our good friends at Project Retro Games. Cotton 2.
Okay.
For Sega Saturn. Now, of course, the game was already released on the system.
This would not be a pickups video if you didn't have a Cottons game in there.
I know, right? So, what's cool about this one is some modders translated the game in English.
Okay.
Right? So, Project Retro Games, they put it on a disc, and what's cool about this, with them putting on this disc, is it's region free. It's not region locked like a lot of Saturn games are, so you can play it on any Saturn system. So it comes with an awesome manual here, and you can see it's here poster too. You can see here the disc is of course pressed.
That does look.
Because I was debating on getting Cotton again on the Sega Saturn, but once he told me, "Hey, no, we're doing our own English translation of it," so I said, "Yep, I'll get that version."
So do you know off the top of your head how many Cotton games there are in total?
It's probably over 30.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have them all yet?
I feel like I do. I could be like 30, maybe exaggerating. I would say maybe like over 20, but I feel like I have most of the ones that on a modern console, at least I would say. But yeah, I have a lot of them. I'm gonna do a video about them pretty soon here. So
I think it'd be interesting to watch because I do like the series, and I've got maybe 5 of them or something scattered across systems. So they are really fun.
Yeah, they're good chill shoot 'em ups. If you want a kind of introduction to shoot 'em ups, the Cotton games are good to play.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's the one that's 3D where you're behind?
Panorama Cotton.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
That's the one that's like Space Harrier, pretty much. Yeah, it's very unusual, but it's still a fun game. It's tough for me, but it's still fun.
Yeah. So. All right. Next up for me is just a blind buy. I basically pre-ordered this one a while ago. This is the Final Fantasy 1 through 6. This is the Pixel Perfect collection here. I picked these up for a number of reasons. The first one being Happy Console Gamer did a video on it because I was kind of on the edge, or I was like, do I really want that? And then he described how this works, and basically it's got a bunch of tweaks in there so that you can multiply your experience, so you can basically get more experience with less fighting.
Oh, so you can kind of move through the game,
so you don't have to grind as much.
Okay.
Also, it's got a bunch of kind of little modern tweaks like that to make it easier for people like us who maybe don't want to spend 60 hours grinding and stuff like that.
A recommendation I have for you on this, have you started any of them? Like, which one have you started?
I farted around in the 6th one because that's the one that I love the most.
Wait, you said farted or started?
I farted around in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I booted up to to get that intro and all that sort of stuff, but I haven't jumped in yet.
Okay, because I recommend playing 4 and 6. I had a great time with those.
So we got 4 on.
We got 4 on Super Nintendo, but it was rebranded as Final Fantasy 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and 3 was 6, which is so weird how they did it. I just And
back in the day, the reason I played 3 back in the day when I had a Super Nintendo, and I loved that game a lot.
Well, it's considered the best Final Fantasy of all time. Like everybody, they want them to remake it so bad.
Yeah,
you can remake it just after they finish 7 remake. Don't go to anything else right now because I want that game to be done so bad.
That's true.
Man, get it over with.
So I got this because so that's what sold me is that I know I'm not going to go back and probably replay the actual real version of that because I just would not put the time in. Because back in the day you'd move 3 steps, random battle, 3 steps, random battle. So hearing these kind of modern tweaks, I'm like, oh, I could do that. That'd be kind of fun. So pick that up.
Okay, lots of shooters in this video. Here is Rolling Gunner. For the PlayStation 4.
I've never heard of this. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, man. I picked that up, strictly limited. And man, that game is so much fun. What I love about it is that you have this targeting system pretty much, and depending on how you position yourself, you shoot at enemies, and the enemies that come up behind you, you automatically target them as well. So you have enemies coming from everywhere, but it's like this is so much fun how this game plays. So I had a good time with it. I didn't have any trouble with it until I got to the 3rd level, and I usually play on the default settings to get started on games. I won't play it on easy unless it's too crazy. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this one. Still, like I said, still in the beginning stages though. They're only on the 3rd level, but it really pulls me in. So definitely a cool one.
Never heard of this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty dang cool. All right, well maybe this is one that you haven't heard of either.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you got.
7th Sector.
Never heard of it.
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
All right. Prepare. No. So basically, this is a adventure game.
Okay.
Where you play a little, I'm not entirely sure how to explain it, but basically you control this little thing of energy or electricity, and the whole game is moving through wires and sort of solving puzzles to get to the next level or next area. It's kind of like a dystopian, futuristic, kind of sort of weird. You see stuff going on in the background. It's completely just ambient kind of I don't know how to describe it. I've never played a game quite like it. It's basically at its heart an adventure puzzle game. It's not very long. I want to say it's maybe an hour, 2 hours, something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, not too difficult either. It does have some timing things in there.
It sounds very interesting, though. You know.
Yeah, it is, and you guys are seeing the footage here. Definitely, the footage makes it look a little more interesting than maybe my description of it. But this is another one where I was just like, I pop it in, I'm like, what is going on here? And again, you just play it, and you're like, well, this is such a weird game. So, and I kind of dig that. I like games that kind of do something different once in a while.
Exactly.
So, yeah, definitely check. I'll have to let you borrow that.
Okay.
You're probably like, what the hell is this?
I'll check it out. Definitely.
Yeah, it's got a cool cover though, huh?
Yeah. So, man, lots of shooters here.
Yeah, I do. I have one more shooter. So.
Yeah. The next game here. I meant to talk about this in a couple of our last video.
Okay.
But this is Blazing Rangers, and I got this from First Press Games. This is our exclusive NES game that they published, and pretty much plays firemen putting out fires. And the game is a lot of fun. I mean, it's very nostalgic of old school Nintendo games.
So this is a brand new game.
Yes,
it's like a homebrew game. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, brand new game. I think it's been out. I mean, they've been working on getting production out for it for a while, but now it's finally here, thankfully. They have like a Famicom version of it, and obviously I wanted the NES version of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, and Riggs did a video on it too. So it's a very interesting game. And I love how they're keeping legacy systems alive with, you know, like these newer games for them. So
yeah, that's cool.
And they know what we love. They know how to put it together in the cardboard box. And
that cover is so retro, isn't it?
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Mega Man Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that cover was...
Yeah.
This is exactly what it reminds me of, though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up for me, something different from that by far, is Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. I picked this up at another castle one day. I
believe that's the fourth game.
It is. Okay. So yeah, so I know it's because it's kind of confusing because we got 1 through 3 and then we got 5, right, or something like that. But it was digital only initially, and then they put out a physical for that. But then now we get this, which is the fourth game. So this was originally the first Wii game that came out, right,
for Wii U.
For Wii U, and what was it?
No, was it? No, maybe it was Wii.
No, it was Wii. It was Wii.
You're right.
But anyways, and so now they're putting out a physical version of it, and people can play it today. I was playing a little bit the other night, and I really do like these games. There's nothing quite. I was gonna say there's nothing quite like them. They're very similar to me in tone to the Clock Tower series.
Really, that's interesting to say because basically both games you don't really have anything to fight with.
That's kind of why I feel that way. That these games are much more about kind of atmosphere and hiding and trying to protect yourself. You have this camera obscura, which is basically this way to take a photo of a ghost or an apparition and kind of stun it or kill it or whatever. And I kind of dig that. The other thing too I like about the series, and I was reminded when I put this in, is how grainy and kind of film it looks. Like they add that kind of film look to it.
Filter, yeah.
Yeah, that filter. So I dig it. So
right on.
Yeah, it's kind of a random buy. Figured you'd appreciate a good survival horror game.
100%. So man, another shoot 'em up here. R-Type Final 3. PS5. I had to pick it up. I know a lot of people didn't like R-Type Final Part 2. I liked it, but I wanted to pick that one up. And it's a very relaxing shooter for me. It is unfortunately one-hit deaths in that game, so be very careful. But the atmosphere.
Most people never say a shooter is relaxing.
I know, right? I mean, I feel like the shooters where if you get hit once and then you respawn at the same spot.
Yeah, that's true.
That's cool. True. But this game's like, nah, you got to go to a checkpoint if you get killed. So it's a very chill game, I would say. Maybe relaxing is the wrong word for it, but I felt like very chill playing it. I would say, I had a good time.
Well, the thing is, and you're probably like this, I get in the zone sometimes. Like sometimes when I play shooters like this, I'm amazed at how well I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, because there are people who are really good at them, but then sometimes I'm just like, damn, I'm like in the zone. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works, but that's cool. And this is the deluxe edition with a soundtrack and a color manual. That's cool. All right, next up for me, something completely different than that. I picked this up recently. Saviors of Sapphire Wings, and specifically Stranger of Sword City.
Yes.
So I picked this up because I recognize the second game on here because I have it on the Vita.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, they put this out on the Switch. I guess the first game was a Japanese-only game, I believe, or something. I'm not sure. I'd never heard of it before. But I guess it's like... I could be wrong. So,
well, I love the way this cover looks.
Yeah,
how it matches the both of them. That's very cool.
Yeah. So these are very old school style dungeon crawlers. Essentially, you're just basically crawling around. A lot of talking heads.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Class of Heroes in a way.
Oh, sure.
With when you get a party and everything like that. So
yeah, and while these games aren't visually the most interesting, sometimes they're kind of just very sort of one-dimensional looking. But there is a solid RPG behind all that stuff, and so you can definitely get sucked into it and play them. So it was relatively cheap. I thought I'd pick it up.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I hate to do this, man, but this game right here, I always have a problem pronouncing it, but I think it's called Astalon. I hope I said that right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so this is I want to say it's like an 8-bit, maybe a couple more bits to it, but it's like, it's an action game, action platform game where you kind of go around in this castle and you gotta, I don't remember the story too much, but you have 3 characters and then you're on the quest to do some stuff, and some eerie stuff happens to your characters, man. Like you get cursed and it's really messed up what happens in the beginning of the game. But I was having fun with this one. It's very interesting and it pulls me in. I mean, for people who like 8-bit games or a few more bits, I would say.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the gameplay does look 8-bit, but then the characters look 16-bit.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely something people want to add to their collection. It's also available on the Switch, so definitely a cool game. Glad that got a physical, because if it got digital only, I would have forgot about this. Man, I wouldn't even ever looked its way. But,
yeah, that's the reason why they put them out on physical like this, so we can play them decades later, right?
Right on.
All right, dude, the next one is completely different than that. That is The Spirit and the Mouse.
Right on.
This is a physical release from Super Rare Games. And this game is very much a 3D platforming adventure game, kind of in the style of the games you would get, back on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, stuff like that.
So do you have to, flip the camera around a lot?
Yeah, it's a full 3D game, and you control the camera and stuff like that. And basically you play this mouse that gets struck by lightning, and the guardian of the village, which kind of helps the people who live there, the humans that live there, asks for your help as this little mouse. And essentially what you do is you cruise around, just kind of old school platforming, going up walls, collecting things, basically trying to make the people who live there happy.
Oh, right on.
So it's a very positive, fun, frankly, it's a fantastic game. I mean, I was playing it. I was really
look how
enjoying
happy the mouse and the guardian look on the cover.
Yeah,
it really helps somebody out.
We don't get a lot of these type of games. You know what I mean? This type of old school platform. But I say old school, but actually, it looks. You guys are watching the footage here. Actually, it looks really good. So, and I think it was only made by a very small team of people. I was very pleasantly surprised by this game.
Deserving of a physical release.
Absolutely. And again, I like these kind of games. You know what I mean? Every once in a while I get in the mood for an old school 3D platforming game. This is absolutely that. So,
right on, man.
Yeah, cool. Very cool.
Okay, a lot of people don't know this, but I love, back when I was a kid, me and my cousin used to play Skate or Die all the time.
Oh, me too.
Great series, but I always wanted the Game Boy version, which is a Skate or Die, Bad and Rad.
Oh, dude, I had no idea this existed.
Yeah, it's so cool. So I got this from a store in Texas called Retro Rehab. Okay. And very awesome store. If you guys haven't been there, this store is one of the best stores I've seen since I've been to Texas. But that game, man, crazy. Just dude, it's so nostalgic, the gameplay in it. Because me and my cousin play Skate or Die like crazy all the time. We were the joust level, going downtown, going down the hill level. It was just so much fun. So when I saw that, I immediately wanted it, man, because I just wanted, they're not making games like this anymore. So it's very, nostalgic, I would say.
Did you ever try to ride a skateboard as a kid?
I did. Probably while I was 11, 12 years old. I was getting into it with friends, but I got hurt, and I was like, no, never again. Because the pain was kept me away from it. Dude,
I remember, I forget what grade I was, but I was on a skateboard, and you know how sometimes you kind of get rocking like this and you can't control it if you're, that's exactly what happened. I was going back and forth, and I just wiped out. Yeah. And I remember this dude on the sidewalk, he's like,
Really?
Yeah. I was so mad at him, but also too, I was like, yeah, I suck. I don't think I ever rode skateboard again. So I was like, I'll play video game skateboard.
I mean, I like seeing people skateboard, but I've seen some skateboard accidents where dude, I'm never messing with it again. But still, happy to have that in the collection. So
Oh, that's cool. All right, next up for me, I had to pick this up. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Very nice, man.
Yes, so, dude, I was obsessed with Advance Wars when that first came out. played it, loved it, beat it.
And you weren't expecting to either. It's one of those games
Yes.
when you play the first one, it really just pulls you in how it, like the introduction and everything. I was shocked how many hours I put into it when I first played it.
Well, again, Nintendo, I mean, when they take on a genre like that, it's like, man, it's so addictive. And they just absolutely, you're 100% right. It's like, even people who aren't into like turn-based strategy games and all that, it's like, yeah, I mean, it was amazing to play, you know, for sure. So when they announced this, I was like, I'm absolutely buying that. And it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I haven't played the original in so long, but this is like very much updated graphics. Like,
but if you have the originals, do you think people will need to play this one if they already have the originals?
You know, I mean, if you've got a Game Boy, you know, Advance sitting around and you've got a, you know, copy
ready to go. Okay,
yeah,
so
or
mainly for, okay, I get you.
I mean, that's the thing is that, yeah, if you have a Switch, I mean, this is such an easy way to play it, for sure. And that's why I did it, because it's like, oh, this has got updated graphics, and it's going to be probably pretty awesome. I mean, I'm not sure if they've actually tweaked any other stuff in here. Knowing Nintendo, they probably did, but from what I played so far, I'm very happy with it. So,
right on. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, another shooter. Oh.
What?
Yeah, man, we're knocking them out here. This is Raiden 3 for PS3 and the Switch. So
I think I have 3 on the PS2.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 is the one that kind of like everybody passed over. It was, I don't remember what it was about it. Maybe it was the music or just the gameplay was just tiresome at that point, maybe. But a 3 is kind of like the lackluster version in the series. But I'm glad they re-released it.
Yeah.
And I can't really say too much about it. That it's like anything's really improved. I mean, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
But obviously, part 4 and 5 are like the top notch in the series. But I wanted to get this some kind of like get all the collection of modern consoles.
I had no idea they did this.
Oh, you didn't know, man?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Man. But they're fun games. They have all those. I think they have this one has a dual mode in it, so you get control 2 planes in it, and some other options I can't remember right now. But
really? Okay.
they're definitely worth getting if you like the Raiden series. They're fun games. Just 3 there's something about 3, and maybe you guys in the comments could let me know too, like how you felt about 3 and why 3 is kind of like the lackluster of the series. But
interesting. Huh.
Cool.
I love that series. I think it's really fun. I mean, I've said it before. Like, if I go to an arcade and there's a Raiden machine sitting there, I will play it.
Nice,
like,
dude.
It's right there on my list. Yeah, I love
Right on.
Okay, something involves shooting, but at this time it's water. PowerWash Simulator. Have you heard of this?
No, what the?
I'm so happy to introduce you to this. This is a, I'm not gonna say a dumb game, but it's a lot of people are like, really? They're making a game about that? So essentially you own a power wash, I think it's a company, and you have a power wash machine and a bunch of different nozzles, and every level is cleaning something to completion. So for instance, in the first level,
you can play online up to 6 of your friends online, dude. It's saying here.
Let me just say, when I first got this game, I think I played it straight for 2-3 hours.
Really?
Oh yes, I'm not lying.
Wow.
Because it is very addictive. Because essentially,
Square Enix picked it up, so yeah, they
yeah. Well, it is a popular game online. It's one of those games where a lot of people stream it because it's very easy to kind of interact with the chat.
Okay.
And clean these vehicles, and it's not just vehicles. Actually, like the second level is a house. It's somebody's backyard.
Okay.
And essentially, what you do, you're power washing, bricks or a shack or a van or whatever. There's all this different stuff, and it is really addictive. And it's funny because I was thinking about this, like, why is this so addictive? But when we bought this house, we needed to power wash our deck because it had mold on it,
right,
or moss, I should say. And we bought a wash machine. It's the same thing. It's so addictive.
Yeah. Wow, dude.
But it was kind of like, let's power wash the deck, because you get into the mode of just making sure something's really clean.
So is this like a what you would call a budget title where it's not fully priced?
I don't think it was full price when I bought it. I bought it off of Amazon.
Okay.
I want to say it was $39. That seems about right for this price. I mean, it's a silly game. People make fun of it, but also it's popular.
Okay.
Yeah, so it definitely has this following online. It's very similar to, like, have you ever seen those games where people mow the lawn? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing
and everything like that.
Yeah, so. It's like you got to be into it. But again, I'm not lying. Like I was obsessed. Like, I wanted to get every piece of dirt off of the car and off of the backyard. It's pretty funny. So
cool. Okay.
I'll have to let you borrow it. You'll be like, no, I'm not playing that.
Okay.
That sounds like work.
A little bit different here. Back to some adventure game here. This is Afterimage for the PS4 and the Switch. So I just got this game too, and I like the art design of it.
Yeah.
You know, very, very cool how everything looks.
What kind of game is it?
It's like a Metroidvania, I would say.
Okay.
You know, I hate using that term all the time, but we're just trying to give you guys a little familiar, like how familiar it is. It will be to you guys, but yeah, it's kind of one of those games that kind of like just I saw. Well, I think my buddy John told me about it, or maybe I told him. I can't remember, but I just took interest in it, and it seemed like a cool game. I'm still in the beginning stages of it, but I did want to show it off in this video, some footage, so you guys, because let me know what you guys think of it.
Well, it's got a great cover. Like, I don't know what that means, but it's cool. Okay. Well, you guys are seeing the footage here, so. All right. Next up for me is something a little bit different. I just want to. You guys know I'm into physical, and reading and all this sort of stuff, and these are two magazines that I get, and actually I wanted to kind of highlight. The first one being Debug Magazine. So we all love indie games. Also Wave Game Studios.
Yep.
They make and publish this.
Yeah.
And so they put out some amazing Dreamcast games in the last couple years.
Yeah, like Intrepid Izzy is one we talked about on the channel before.
Yeah, they put out Postal.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, they put out a bunch of them, and they're very deep into like the indie scene, and because they're so knowledgeable about that stuff, they pour a lot of that into this magazine. So basically, it's if you are interested in indie games, this is your magazine, and you can see like it actually looks really quality. So
definitely.
Yeah, so that one, and then these are some friends of ours. We've known these guys for a while. Putting out a retro gaming magazine here.
Right.
We love these dudes. So
it's crazy to think of like gaming magazines are like a lost art now. But I'm glad someone else has picked up the mantle for them.
Well, that's the thing is that again with like Old School Gamer magazine, it's like they're the ones that are at the expos. They're the ones that are interacting with the community, and they sell the subscriptions are directly to the customer. You're not going to find these in Barnes and Noble most likely.
Right.
And so actually I think that's kind of cool. Like they have a little bit closer connection with the community. So
did you have a favorite gaming magazine back in the day?
Yeah, I mean at the time, PC Gamer Magazine and PC World, because I was such a PC gamer, and they were thick like Bibles. You know what I mean?
Legit. Mine was actually Game Fan, because what I loved about that, they actually reviewed import games and they did American games as well. They did like multiple reviews, like short reviews, long reviews.
Oh, was that the one where it had the three people who would do like a
they had like their own little section. It was a really great magazine. I'm trying to collect them, man, but they're hard to find. I mean, Rick's hooked me up with a couple of them a couple years ago. I still got those nice and neat.
There is something to be said about opening a magazine from back in the day, because it's such a snapshot. Because and I've actually been sharing some of this on social media, where just the ads alone, you assume the big games had the full page ads, but no, often it was like what we consider to be expensive hidden gems today. They're right there, page 3 of your favorite magazine back in the day. And nobody paid attention to it.
And the ads were so funny. I remember when there was one with Ice Cube in the Sega Saturn, which was hilarious. Yeah, man. Just looking at the ads that they would throw up is awesome.
So many of them were not even like politically correct at all, which is pretty hilarious actually. So, anyways, if you guys like physical media and magazines and you miss it, these are two really good ones.
Cool. Okay, I'm down to my last two, but this next one is pretty cool because this game is very expensive. I mean, I don't know if it's how hard it is to find, but if you find one, it's going to be very expensive. But I got a reproduction of it, and that is Magical Chase.
Oh, of course.
For PC Engine.
I think that is the most expensive game for that.
It's like $7,000 if you want a complete copy.
It's crazy.
And
I remember when John Hancock...
When he found one, yeah.
Yeah, because it came into Corey's store, and he needed it to complete his collection. He's like shaking,
Yeah.
I think he did a big trade to even afford it,
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just happy to have this in the collection because I just want to try it out. I actually have the sister version of the game, which is on the Game Boy Color, and but now I'm able to play this
production. That looks really good.
It actually looks better than the original to me, man. I mean, they did a really good job. Of that.
Wow. So somebody actually is able to. Is it 3D printed? No. I'm trying to figure out how they would make the hue card.
Yeah, this day and age.
I'm gonna pop it out.
Go for it.
It's on the 7th. Okay, so that's 3D printed right there.
Even got, I think that's a sleeve. Is that a sleeve that you can put it in?
I wonder if they can reprogram a hue card. I don't know.
Let us know in the comments if you guys have any info. But yeah,
because you know what? this feels sharper or something. So maybe this is like a new. I would love to know how they did this.
Yeah.
Like, is it because it kind of feels sharper and kind of stronger edge, right? So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it works, that's cool.
There you go.
That's neat. Okay, well, my last shooter here is Soldner, which seems really weird to say that. Okay. X2 Final Prototype Definitive Edition from PlayAsia. So,
right on, dude. So I have that on the Vita. I didn't know they made PS4 version. Wow.
I didn't either. So this is really cool. So this is a horizontal shooter, fantastic shooter. You guys have seen the footage here. Just a beautiful game.
Yep.
Really, really fun. It's not too hard, which I appreciate.
Right.
You know, I felt like I was able to actually get through it, you know, and not get too upset.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Golly, I mean, I gotta give it up to PlayAsia, man. When it comes to their packaging, dude, like they know what to put in here. Yeah. Art book, soundtrack, game, of course, manual. I just that stuff is just really appreciative. So, yeah. Wow.
Okay. And then your last one.
Last one. So I hope I pronounced this game right. I had the pronunciation right a while ago, but I probably forgot it already. So Aconcagua.
Oh wow, that's a weird name.
Yeah, it's oh man, I wish I had got it right, but I know I didn't. But you guys,
I wouldn't know how to pronounce it either. So,
but this game originally was supposed to come out to America on the PS1, and it never did. But the game was actually fully English translated, but it had subtitles, so it would kind of be hard to navigate a little bit. But some fans, they kickstarted it and they got it English translated, and it was a really legit Kickstarter that they made for it. And I don't know if it was a Kickstarter or just something else that went on, but it was really they came together and they got the game English translated for us. And of course, Project Retro Games made a physical for it, and I'm so happy because this is a game that should have came out for the PS1, but it never did. So definitely interested to play this. And this one's about these people that get in a plane crash on a mountain. And they got to try to survive together, and they're being, I just say there's people after them, so you have to try to get everybody off the mountain safely, and it's very entertaining, I would say. So definitely a cool game. Obviously, you got to have a modded PS1 to play it, but Project Retro Games will take care of you if you need a PS1 modded. So yeah, man.
Damn.
So I know, right? Look at the long box and everything.
I know, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So you always have the weirdest, coolest stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, keeping the PS1 alive. So yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I know, dude. Well, where can people find you on the internet?
Radical Reggie, the Radical One, helped me get to 100,000, about 1,000 away. So
go
you guys
subscribe.
Help me out a little
bit.
So almost there.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and take care.